3 in the morning. Do you know what your AI agent is doing? Because someone else might. Right now, on a gray market you've never seen, stolen AI API keys are being resold like stolen credit cards, and the machines using them are burning through your account at full speed. You won't get an alert. There's no spending cap. The first time you find out is when the bill arrives, and in one real case that bill was nearly $1 million. This is token jacking, and it's happening now. This is from Palo Alto's Unit 42, and unlike a lot of what I cover, this isn't a lab demo. These are active incident response cases. Quick vocabulary. When you use an AI model, your text gets chopped into little units called tokens, and you're billed per token. Your API key is what unlocks that metered access. Token jacking is simply the theft of those keys. But here's what makes it different from normal key theft. The attacker usually isn't trying to hack you. They're trying to resell your access. Your key isn't a way in. It's the product. So why don't you notice? Because of how AI billing works. To avoid interrupting unpredictable workloads, most providers don't cap how many tokens an account can burn. They just tally it up and bill you at the end of the cycle. Think about what that means. A stolen key gives an attacker unlimited programmatic access, and the meter runs silently in the background. You're not watching a live counter. You get a statement. By the time the invoice lands, the tokens are long gone, and organizations have very little recourse to claw that money back. For a small business, one bad cycle can be existential. Here's where your key goes. There's a whole gray market of fly-by-night vendors reselling frontier model access at a fraction of the retail price. They're called transfer stations, and a lot of them run on the same handful of open-source proxy tools, New API and One API. The proxy sits in front of a pool of real, stolen API keys, rotates through them, and hands buyers cheap seller-issued credits they purchase anonymously, often on Chinese-language marketplaces like Taobao. And the economics only work one way. You can't buy tokens at full price and resell them at a discount profitably. So the discounted pool has to come from stolen keys. The theft isn't a side effect. It's the supply chain. So where does that pool of stolen keys come from? Some of it is boring. Keys left exposed in code repos and file shares, or harvested like any other credential. But the scary vector is supply chain. Attackers are using self-propagating NPM packages that a developer installs once, and then the package infects that developers own later releases, scraping keys and tokens from every environment it touches along the way. Named campaigns like shai-hulud and miasma, and I've broken one of these worms down in detail in another video. Unit 42's point here is chilling. The sheer number of credentials stolen in those campaigns could fuel these transfer stations for years. Your build system full of API keys is a mine, and the scale is brutal. A single transfer station can push tens of millions of API calls a day. Unit 42 describes responding to a case where attackers found inadvertently exposed credentials and had them wired into a transfer station within minutes, running up close to $1 million in charges before anyone caught it. Minutes to weaponize. $1 million before the invoice. And it's not just petty resale. Unit 42 notes competing nation-states can use these same proxies to train and refine their own frontier models at a fraction of what it would normally cost. Cheap access to stolen compute turns out to be strategically useful. So what do you actually do? Start by changing how you think about an API key. It used to be a credential. Now it's bearer cache, and it's being stolen not to break into your systems but to be resold silently until the invoice. Even the people buying cheap access on these gray markets get burned, their prompts routed to worse models and their sessions mined for the next round of secrets. The defense is unglamorous and it works. Put hard spending limits on your AI usage, with alerts that fire when consumption jumps off its baseline. Get keys out of developer environments and build systems where a single worm can scrape them and manage them centrally instead. Tie your model traffic to a managed identity you can actually monitor. None of that is exciting, but it's the difference between noticing in an hour and noticing on the statement. If you want one real AI security story broken down every single day, clearly and without the hype, subscribe and turn on the bell. It's free, and it's the one button that tells me to keep making these. If you want the full written breakdown with the Unit 42 findings and every source, that's on the prompt injection blog, linked below. Then go watch the deep dive on the NPM worm that harvests these keys in the first place. Same theme. The credentials your tools carry are the target. See you tomorrow. If this was useful, subscribe. New AI agent and security breakdowns every day.